All right, Knicks fans, we need to talk because there's a storm brewing that nobody wants to admit is coming. Everybody is still riding high off that championship run. Everybody is still posting highlights. Everybody is still soaking the fact that our Knicks are the best team in basketball right now. And look, I get it. I'm right there with you. But somebody has to be the one to say it out loud. In a couple of years, this front office is going to have to make a decision that could break this fan base in half. And it revolves around one man, OG Anunoby. Before I get into it, if you're new here, get comfortable, hit that subscribe button, and smash that like button right now. Because trust me, this is a conversation we're going to be having for the next 2 years, whether we like it or not. And if you've got a hot take on this, I want to hear it. Drop in the comments, because I already know this one is going to split the room. So let's set the stage. Right now, the Knicks are sitting on top of the mountain. Champions of the NBA, kings of New York. And for one moment, everything feels perfect. But here's the ugly truth nobody wants to say during a championship afterglow. The salary cap does not care about your parade. It does not care about your banner. It is coming. And this front office is going to have some brutal, gut-wrenching decisions to make about who stays and who gets pushed out the door. And out of every single name on this roster, the one that keeps me up at night is OG Anunoby. Let's be honest with ourselves for a second. Anunoby was not just good this postseason. He was essential. This team does not hoist that trophy without him. His defense was suffocating. He was switching on to guards. He was banging with centers in the paint. He was doing things defensively that most players in this league simply cannot do. And offensively, he was knocking down threes when we needed them most. And I don't think I need to remind anybody in this comment section what he did at the end of Game 4. That shot lives in Knicks history forever. Chills. Absolute chills. So here's my problem. Here's why I am genuinely frustrated when I think about this. We have a guy who, when healthy, is arguably a top-tier two-way wing in this entire league. A guy who can guard your best perimeter scorer and then switch onto a 7-footer the very next possession. That is rare. That is special. And yet, every single time I get excited about him, there's this nagging voice in the back of my head whispering the same thing. Can he stay on the court? Because that's the real issue here, isn't it? It's not about talent. Nobody is questioning the talent. It's about availability. And in this league, availability is everything. Now, let's talk money, because this is where it gets ugly fast. Anunoby is already the second highest paid player on this roster. Next season, he is set to make $42.5 million. The year after that, $45.4 million. And then he's got a player option sitting at $48.4 million. So do the math with me here. When his next contract negotiation comes around, based on those numbers, he could be in line for a max deal north of $70 million in year one. Now, realistically, he is probably not getting the full max. But we are still talking about a number that could land somewhere between $50 and $60 million a year. I need you to sit with that number for a second. $50 to $60 million a year for a player with a documented, undeniable history of injuries. And here's what makes me genuinely angry when I think about how this front office has to navigate this. It's not just about OG. This isn't happening in a vacuum. We are talking about a core that includes Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, and Anunoby. 5 guys. 5 expensive, talented, championship-caliber players. And I hate to break it to you, but there is basically no version of reality where this front office keeps all 5 of those guys long-term. The cap does not work that way. It has never worked that way. So now we're stuck with a question that is going to define this era of Knicks basketball. Who do you keep? Do you keep Anunoby, knowing full well that when he's healthy, he might be the best two-way player on this entire roster, but also knowing that health is a massive, gigantic, glaring question mark? Or do you lean toward a guy like Mikal Bridges, who maybe isn't quite as dominant on a given night, but shows up every single game, every single season? The Iron Man of this roster. This is where I get fired up, because as a fan, I don't want to have to choose. I shouldn't have to sit here and rank my own guys against each other. I want to keep everybody. I want this core intact to the next decade. But that's not how the NBA works. And pretending otherwise is just delusional. If I'm being real with you, this decision terrifies me. Because if the Knicks pay Anunoby big money and he gets hurt again, we are looking at a disaster of contract that cripples his front office's flexibility for years. We've seen it happen to other teams. We've watched other fan bases suffer through it. I do not want that to be us. I refuse to let that be us. But on the flip side, if the Knicks let him walk or trade him away to avoid that risk, and he goes somewhere else and stays healthy for 3 straight seasons, putting up all defense caliber numbers on a max contract elsewhere, I'm going to be sick. Absolutely sick. Because we let a genuine two-way star walk out the door over a health concern that might not even happen again. There is no clean answer here. There is no obvious right choice. And that is exactly why the situation is eating at me more than almost anything else on this roster. Now, let me ask you directly, because I actually want to know what this fan base thinks. If you had to choose right now, today, between paying OG Anunoby big money long-term or prioritizing Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart because of their durability, which way are you leaning? I want real answers in the comments, not just yes or no. Tell me why. Tell me what you saw from him this postseason that changes your mind, or what injury history has you scared. And listen, before you scroll away, if this video got you thinking, if it got you a little fired up like it got me, do me a favor and smash that like button. It genuinely helps this channel more than you know, and it lets me know I should keep digging into these tough roster questions instead of just the easy feel-good stuff. Because here's the thing, being a real Knicks fan isn't just about celebrating the championship run and pretending everything is perfect forever. It's about being honest when hard conversations are coming. And this, right here, the OG Anunoby extension, is going to be one of the hardest conversations this front office has faced in years. So drop your take in the comments. Tell me who you're protecting long-term. Tell me who you think the front office prioritizes when push comes to shove. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next update, because you know this front office is not going to make this decision quietly. And when they move, I will be breaking it down right here first. All right, that's it for me today. Let me know your thoughts down below. Smash that like button before you go, and I will see you in the next one.